I think the question about frothiness, I think, a really big debate this time around, which I feel like people are having everywhere from panels to, Telegram chats, is this cycle different? But I think the entrance of institutions changes the time horizon, the sort of risk profile. It introduces a level of stability to holders that we haven't had previously. And I think that will make a difference. I'm not saying, that this cycle is totally different. I think that it will be different. And I think we're going to learn a lot from this cycle.
I mean, how does institutional adoption change what Bitcoiners view as the typical 4-year cycle? I mean, a common thesis now is that you shouldn't see as large of a drawdown. I'm wondering how much that institutional allocation changes Bitcoin's kind of like floor in a bear market. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it? Is that a shared illusion? Are there other changes to the market structure that you think are more important?
Yeah. So I think there's sort of two that are top of mind. So the first one is that something that's very different this cycle is the ability to trade, like the futures market being largely onshore US, which was not the case last time around in previous cycles, combined with the spot ETFs in the US, has given large hedge funds the ability to do the basis trade this time around. And the basis trade is positive as long as you have upward trajectory. There will come a time where the basis trade starts to kind of roll back and people exit that trade. So that is a certain portion of the sell-off. But sort of a counterbalance and a very different type of holder is if you are holding, for those people holding like Bitcoin ETFs in retirement vehicles, it's not money you need to access. It's not levered.
You're parking it for decades.
Nobody's looking, you're like, I'm not doing anything with it. It's sitting there and it is, sort of let it ride. And so that becomes an incredibly stabilizing sort of force. And I think we don't have enough data to know exactly sort of how those forces play out.
Yeah, it's really uncharted waters right now in terms of the maturation of the market participants in Bitcoin. Obviously, it's just at this point, last cycle we had a taste of it, but it was obviously like we still had the clowns at the wheel with like FTX and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we're our own worst enemy, right?
And it feels right. And it feels much less the opposite now. The big boys have been driving this cycle. And I'm curious about what you feel that means in terms of retail adoption. I feel like a lot of frustrations with Bitcoiners who are glued to like Glassnode or their on-chain analytics platforms say, we're not seeing the retail inflows as much this cycle. I've always been of the mind, it's like they're just they're hiding because they're on paper.